What's up, y'all? So we got a new video today. I'm being pretty consistent with the videos, so I'm proud of myself. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to use a reference, some do's and some don'ts, and how to avoid plagiarizing. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the references that I'm going to be using as an example for these videos are from Dorohedoro. I'm going to be using Shin and Noi from Dorohedoro. Dorohedoro is one of my favorite animes to come out of this year. Shout out to Netflix for actually, the studio for absolutely blowing it out the park. I am reading it now because the anime was so good, so shout out to them. But without further ado, let's get into what this video is about. So I'm drawing Shin right now, and first things first, the first thing you saw me do was put that reference right next to me. So the one thing that you must do when you're using a reference is have it next to you. It's a reference, refer to it. That's one of the key words in reference. You're supposed to refer to it, but not copy it, if you get what I'm saying. I know that there's some people out here who want to just use that shortcut and try to trace. You know what I'm saying? Do not trace. I know how tempting it is. I used to be there. Do not trace. You will not improve as an artist when you trace. If you're going to trace, just trace so that you understand where stuff is placed. But don't trace it as your final product, please. Never do that. You will not improve as an artist in any area, okay? Never do that. The next do and don't is try not to be so exact with yourself. Remember, when you are drawing from a reference, and I said this in my backgrounds video, when you're drawing from a reference, you are drawing just to refer to that whatever you're referencing. At the end of the day, this is your style. You can make as many changes as you want. As you can see in the final drawing, I put his hands on his shoulders because that's just the type of flair that I wanted to add to the drawing. So make sure that you still leave a mark that is somewhat yours. This goes for line work and coloring too, because you saw the reference that I was using didn't even have color, and this line work type is my type of style when I'm using more like aggravated type of drawings. So just make sure that you stick to your style. Make sure you add a flair to it so that it's still a drawing by you. Don't try to be so exact, okay? This isn't a master copy. This isn't a master copy for your drawing class. You're drawing for you, okay? So just remember that. Next up, we got Noi. Now, in this drawing, I didn't even have my reference on screen. I actually printed out a picture, a couple pictures of her, just so that I had something to refer to that was right next to me, and I didn't have to swipe up to it, which I think is more appropriate. So the next do, obviously, is to always have your reference on you. You don't want to have, and make it convenient. You don't want to have your reference on another page or anything, so that you're swiping back and forth between whatever you're working on. That way you don't lose any of your mojo, you don't lose any of your flow, you can keep moving like that. And the last don't I want to give y'all, don't plagiarize, okay? Do not trace your reference, okay? The only time I will accept you tracing your reference is if you're trying to square out or shape out what something looks like, okay? But at the end of the day, when you are drawing it, the actual drawing, do not trace. Plagiarizing is not okay, and sometimes y'all don't even know that you're doing it, okay? Sometimes you might just be using it, you might just be tracing just because the drawing's too hard for you, this, that, and the third. But never ever do that. You will not grow as an artist. You have not improved when you trace. Trust me, I used to be there, okay? I am speaking from experience. When I was younger, I traced, and I just thought I was so good at drawing, and that just wasn't the case. Just because you trace does not mean you're good at drawing now, okay? You're not good at drawing what you trace just because you traced it. You might understand its shape better, but you will not, and it's been proven tons and tons of times. I'm an example of this. You will not be good at drawing just because you traced it, okay? Just use your reference as a reference. You do not have to trace it. You do not have to trace it. Please avoid tracing. Plagiarism can get you into a lot of trouble. And like I said, you have not improved from tracing. Okay, so just stick with what you know and improve on yourself. That's what references are for. References are supposed to help you improve. get better in an area that you aren't familiar with. That's why you have the reference up. You're not familiar with it. So don't use it as a cheat sheet. References are study guides, not cheat sheets. At least they're supposed to be. This is not something you just scan and trace over. This is something that you use as a reference to study. So please don't plagiarize. It is a crime against artists everywhere. Do not do it, okay? And be wary of the signs. If you are tracing over it and it is your final product, you're plagiarizing, all right? I'm just gonna let the rest of this speed paint ride out, and I'll see y'all at the end of the video. So we have made it to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the drawing in the background, and I hope that the things that I mentioned about using a reference was helpful. Please come back. I'm gonna be recording more videos. I'm dropping on the daily, or at least I'm trying to rebrand a little bit too. So if you got any suggestions, please let me know. I'll see y'all. I'm jumping out this window now.